Welcome to the Little Library of Wonder. I'm going to read The Chameleon Wore Chartreuse from Chet Gecko Mystery Series by Bruce Hale. A private message from the private eye. I've always loved a good mystery, like how do I squeeze ketchup into those little plastic packets? And why do cafeteria foods so bad? And who put the boom in shakalaka boom boom? My curiosity has given me a reputation around school. Kids talk. They say I am someone who can solve mysteries. They're right, I can. Who am I? Chet Gecko, private eye. I go to 4th grade Emerson Hickey Elementary. I'm a lizard. Yes, Mr. Perfect has joined us. He wants to read this book with us and attack my dinosaurs. Okay, Mr. Perfect. Time for you to go. Time for you to go. Keep going. Keep going. No. Okay. Technical difficulties. Good boy. Good boy. There you go. All right. Back to chapter 1. The case of the long gone lizard. Some cases start rough. Some cases start easy. This one started with a dame. That's what we private eyes call a girl. It was a hot day in September, the kind of day when kindergartens wake up cranky from their naps, the kind of day when teachers pull their hair and dream of moving to Antarctica. In other words, a normal school day. I was watching a fly. He zigged and zagged over my desk. He flew barrel rolls and loop-de-loops. Near as I could tell, he was getting ready to sing the Star-Spangled Banner. So I shot out my tongue and zapped him. Bullseye! Mid-morning snack. Nice shot, private eye. I looked up. She was cute and green and scaly. She looked like trouble and she smelled like grasshoppers. Shirley Chameleon leaned on my desk. Her chartreuse scarf tickled my nose. Hey, Chet, she said. Hey, Shirley, I answered. Haven't seen you around for a while, she said. Where have you been? Duh, right here in class. I've always been fast with a comeback. Listen, I need your help, she said. I checked out the classroom. Old man Ratnose was busy grading papers. Tony Newt was scribbling rude designs on Walter Pigeon's tail feathers while his brother stifled giggles. The other students were reading their books or quietly torturing each other. Kids. Okay, Shirley, I said. Let's step into my office. We walked back behind the aquarium. Sit, I said. She sat. She turned a deep brown to match the chairs. Chameleons do that. Spill your guts, I said. She spilled. It's my little brother Billy, said Shirley. I knew the kid. He had day-glow stripes and a bad attitude. He liked to light matches off his scales and put them out through his nostrils. Pretty tough for a first grader. What's up with Billy? I asked Shirley. Did he steal a kindergartner's lunch money? No, it's not that. Oh, It's, no, never mind, Shirley shook her head and stood up. One tearful eye looked at me, and the other eye watched a gnat flying above us. Chameleons do that. Yuck! Stop it, I said. Look at me with both eyes. She did. I can't help Billy unless you tell me what's wrong, I said. I need a lead. A what? A lead. A place to start. She dabbed her eyes with a handkerchief. I zapped my tongue out and nailed a gnat. No sense in wasting good food. But I almost choked on the bug when she finally answered. Billy has disappeared, she said. He never showed up for school. I found his book bag on the playground, and I just know something's wrong. Shirley turned a lovely shade of blue. She was the kind of girl I could have fallen for, if I liked girls. Couldn't Billy be playing hooky? I said. The last time he played hooky without me, I tied his tail into a knot. I blinked. No wonder Billy had a bad attitude. Still, have you checked his usual hangouts? I said. You know, the mall, the sandbox, the tattoo parlor. I tried all those places, said Shirley. No luck. He's gone. I wonder where he went, I said. Oh, that's great, she pouted. You're some detective. You're supposed to know these things. I'm a detective, not a mind reader, I said. She grabbed my arm. Chet, you've got to find him today before the football game. Why? Has he got the football? I chuckled. It's not funny. My family is coming to the game and I'm supposed to watch Billy. If he's not there, my mom will kill me. Shirley shuddered and turned a little green around the gills, or where her gills would have been if she'd been a fish. So you don't have anything for me to go on, I said. There is one thing, she said. At breakfast, he said to me to meet with someone named Herman. She looked down. I think Herman's nickname is Monster or something like that. Swell. Just swell. The first case of the new year, and already things are looking bad. The last time Shirley saw her little brother, he was talking about a meeting with a Gila monster named Herman. And the most first graders would rather spend summer vacation in a box with the boogeyman than spend a few friendly minutes with Herman, the Gila monster. It's gonna be a long day. Chapter 2. Sing a song of stink bug pie. If you've never met a Gila monster, let me tell you, they are tough customers. They are big, strong, and dumb. And they have really bad breath. Seriously. You wouldn't want to kiss one. Oh, and one other thing. They're poisonous. Of course I didn't tell Shirley her little brother had gone to meet a poisonous goon the size of a refrigerator. Instead I said, Herman. Do any of Billy's little friends know Herman? One of Shirley's eyes rolled back as she thought about it. The other eye kept looking at the ground. I shuddered. What a creepy habit. But then, we geckos lose our tails sometimes, so I guess I shouldn't talk? Billy has been hanging out with the Rat Sisters lately, she said. Maybe they know about Herman? The Rat Sisters are a couple of sweet girls who like to pull the wings off flies and make umbrellas with them. With wings, I mean. I made a note to see the Rat Sisters at lunch, and thinking of lunch reminded me of my fee. Will you take the case, Shirley asked. That depends, I said. Can you afford me? I get $100 a day plus expenses. I had read that in a detective book somewhere. Shirley coughed. I can afford 50 cents a day, she said. Shirley, you jest, I replied. Shirley groaned and my stomach grumbled. Look, she said, my dad is a good cook. Maybe I could just feed you lunch for a week? I raised my eyebrow. Your dad? What's so funny about that? Some of the world's best chefs are men and... All right. It's a deal, I said. Shirley beamed. We're having stink bug pie for dessert tonight. I'll bring you leftovers tomorrow if you find Billy in time. My stomach growled. I'll get right on the case, I said. I stood up to go and stepped around the aquarium, but just then old man Ratnose glared at me from his desk at the front of the room. Oh yeah, school. Chet Gecko, where is your reading book? He demanded. Teacher, it's a mystery to me, I said. Mr. Ratnose bared his front teeth. I whispered to Shirley, I'll start at recess. Okay, thank you, Chet, she said. She kissed my cheek. Then Shirley turned around and wiggled back to her desk. I wiped the cooties off my cheek. Dames, what's a guy supposed to do? Chapter 3, Green Blobs of Fate. The bell rang. Recess! I strolled down the hall to Billy's classroom. Screaming first graders tumbled over each other, racing out the door towards the playground. They were headed for the swings and slides. Those carefree kids. I had bigger bugs to fry. I had to get a look at Billy's desk. It could hold a clue to his disappearance, or a wad of forgotten homework and moldy socks. Only a true detective could tell. I hid behind the razzleberry bush and waited for the teacher to leave. There she was, the great horned toad, Mrs. Toaden, old toady to those who had survived her class. Years ago, kids used to whisper that she rolled in vats of jello before the cafeteria served it. Nothing was ever proved, but you couldn't help wondering about those green blobs on her dress. Come along, you little runts, said Mrs. Toaden to a straggling first grader. Yes, teacher, I'm coming. The little shrew fumbled with his book bag. But he wasn't moving fast enough, I guess. She gave him a friendly punt to speed him up. The kid sailed between two of the posts that lined the covered walkway. Field goal. Sooner or later he would learn. Never stand between a teacher and her jello. Old Toady trundled off. I eased towards the door with a wary eye on Miss Toaden. Just as I reached for the doorknob, she stopped dead in her tracks and turned around. Va-zip! I barely had time to scramble up the wall and out of sight. Sometimes it pays to be a lizard. Old Toady waddled back to the classroom like a duck on a hot date. She locked the door, then made tracks towards the cafeteria. I slithered down the wall and tried the knob. Locked tight. Glancing up and down the hallway, I slipped the point of my tail into the keyhole and wiggled it around. I tried the doorknob again. This time, the locks... Ooh, I'm so excited, the locks. The lock tumblers clicked. On my tail! Ouch! But the doorknob turned. I slipped inside and eyeballed the dark classroom. It hadn't changed much in the years since I'd been there. It smelled of chalk and fear and stale graham crackers. I looked out across the rows of the pink plastic desk. Using my incredible powers of detection, I discovered Billy's desk. It was the one with the name tag that read, Billy. I slid into the seat and checked again to make sure I was alone. I had only a few minutes to search before old Toady returned. So far, so good. I opened the desk. Creak! I held my breath. Had someone heard? I glanced at the windows, but I was alone. I looked into the desk. Yuck. Sitting on the stack of papers was a sandwich so old, even the cafeteria wouldn't serve it. It looked like a science project on the wonders of mold. I pushed it aside with a pencil. Underneath was a crayon drawing of mutant people. Or maybe they were broccoli? Whatever Billy was up to, it sure wasn't art lessons. I dug deeper into the mess. A rubber band gun? A box of nails? A hangman's noose? And a photo of the Loch Ness Monster. Nothing suspicious here. Wait a minute. I turned back to the drawing. It showed a small creature with a tail beating up a big pitcher. A girlish blob in the back was saying, "My hero," in a word balloon. The big creature was labeled Herman. The blob was called Shirley. And the small creature's name was me. Maybe Billy was planning to rumble with Herman. But why would he try to beat up that big lug? Picking a fight with the Gila monster was about as smart as playing hopscotch on the freeway. And Herman was no ordinary Gila monster. After all, he'd been booted off the football team for biting a referee's ear and throwing him into the bleachers. How many sixth graders could say that? I stuck my nose back into Billy's desk. I had to find out more. Shirley had a stink bug pie with my name on it. If only I could crack the case. I dug deeper. I had just spotted something that looked like a map when a familiar sound sent chills down my tail. Well, that's all the time we have for today. If you would like me to continue and read chapter 4, please feel free to like and subscribe on my channel, and we can continue. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.